Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to make your first million? And today we have with Nicky, which is New York Times best-selling author of 11 books and host of the #1 global podcast for thought leaders, and is the world's greatest podcast guesting authority. So welcome to the Unstoppable Podcast, Nicky, and tell us, what are the 5 steps to make the first million?
Thanks for having me on the show. First and foremost, honored, I'm blessed, I'm grateful. God bless you.
Thank you.
Before I answer it, let me tell you a little bit about myself and my background. I'm originally an immigrant from the Middle East. I'm a Christian from Iran. When I was 11 years old, the Islamic Revolution took place in Iran. And my late father, God rest his soul, he could see the writing on the wall. This was not going to be a place to raise a Christian family. He and my mom, they sat down, they made a plan. They took my brothers and I out of Iran, and they moved us eventually to where I now live, in Toronto, Canada, the big smoke itself. Now, when I was there, 11 years old, I was a kid. I didn't want to leave my home. I didn't want to leave my friends. But in retrospect, it was the single best thing mom and dad could have done for me and my 2 brothers. They took us from a legacy of tyranny to a legacy of freedom. Inside every human breast beats the living heart of freedom. Every man, every woman on this planet wants to chart their own course, march to the tune of their own drummer. They want to create their own path. And for entrepreneurs, you got to be freedom lovers. Without freedom, you can't have free expression to speak the ideas you want in the world. Without free expression, you can't have free enterprise, which is what allows you as an entrepreneur to say, I want to do this for a living. And I tell you this, in the world today, there's a lot of forces that are trying to take freedom away. And I think we need to push back against them. We're very lucky to be living in free worlds and free societies, and we need to keep it that way. So my father, he was an entrepreneur. Harry, if you knew him, you'd love him. If you were looking for work, he'd bring you to his office. He'd call all his business owner buddies until one of them gave you a job. If you were trying to start a business, he'd sit you down. He'd give you his best advices. And on top of that, he'd get you access to capital and even clients. And if you were trying to buy a car, a house, and the bank wouldn't give you quite enough money, he would top you up with a loan that he'd never let you pay back. Now, you might think to yourself, whoa, man, this is amazing, but is it real? Nobody's really like this, right? This is too good to be true. It's a Hollywood movie. Well, my late father, Nicky Billou, he was like that. And then people say to me, but why would he do it? What's in it for him? Well, first of all, he was a devout Christian. He believed he'd been blessed by his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and it was his duty to share those blessings with other people. But secondly, he did it because he was rich and successful. He had the money to help other people. I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have people look up to me. Every day my father would tell me, son, life is not about money. It's about people. And I go, okay, Dad. And he'd say, son, even business is not about money. It's about people. And I'd say, Dad, what are you talking about? Of course business is about money. Without money, there's no business. He said, that's true. But without people, there's no need for money to do business. Because what is business? It's solving problems for people for a profit. Problems, people, profit. Acute problems for amazing people.
Tell us more
awesome profit.
This. Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Steps? Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Harry. Don't worry. Getting there, Harry. Don't worry. There's a way to do this that's going to have a maximum impact for your listeners. So here's the deal. As soon as you understand this, and my father understood this, as soon as you take the attention off you and how much money you want to make and what you want to get, and you put the attention on other people, what problems they have, that's when God blesses you. And that's when money comes at you at a big, fast, and powerful rate. Because the first step every entrepreneur needs to do is it can't just be about the money. It's got to be about people. It's got to be about making a difference for people. So that's step 1, Harry. You might want to write that down. Step 1, it's not about you. It's about people. And you have to believe in people. You can't be somebody who's all thinking, oh, it doesn't matter. No, it's just me. No. Them. My dad said everyone needs someone to believe in him, Harry. Even you,
Absolutely.
even me. There are days you don't feel good about yourself, but somebody who knows you can come to you and go, Harry, you're amazing. I believe in you. And that's what I do. I believe in people. Step one, to make $1 million, you got to believe in people. Step two, you got to learn how to get good at business. You're not going to make money if you dream money's going to hit your head. Doesn't work like that. You need to learn sales. You need to learn marketing. And I know there's a lot of people who go, okay, I just want to go online and I want to post on social media and hopefully someone's going to do business with me. No, that's not how it works. How it works is you got to learn to get good at sales and you got to learn to get good at marketing. What does it mean to get good at sales? First of all, again, make it all about them, not about you. Secondly, you need to be able to have a conversation with another human being. Conversations is where sales happen. That's how money happens. Now, if you're selling pens for $5, maybe not. But if you're selling programs for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, you got to learn to have good conversations. And how do you get good at sales? Well, first of all, you got to put the attention on the people again, going back to step one. Second of all, you get good at sales by understanding that selling is about helping people solve problems. That's all it is. You solve problems for people, you make a profit. So, and you got to learn to have a conversation. You got to get past your fear. Are they going to like me? Are they going to want to do business with me? No. You got to talk about them and you got to find out what it is that they want, what it is that they need, and then you can sell. And marketing, you can't be, if someone goes, what do you do? Oh man, anything. I can do anything. What? Nobody's gonna listen to you. You got to be a specialist. You got to narrow your focus. So you maybe, let's say you're going to help people with their investments. Maybe you're going to help people with relationships. Maybe you're going to help people with taxes. Maybe you're going to help people with growing their business. Maybe you're going to help people lose weight. Maybe you're going to help people with their mental health. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have an area that you're passionate about and you're good at, and you talk about that. Not everything, one thing, and you talk to the people that are having a problem with that, because those are the people you want to work with. So you get number one. Remember, it's not about you, it's about them, it's people. Step number two, get good at business, especially sales and marketing. Super, super important. Step number three, charge what you're worth. There's so many people in business, Harry, they don't charge what they're worth.
Yeah.
They undercharge. Let me tell you a story about one of my clients. Harry, he was a beautiful guy. His name was Chris. He had a beautiful family, still does, beautiful wife, two beautiful daughters, amazing guy. Chris had a good business. He made $150,000 a year profit. It was great. But he lived in Manhattan. That's nothing. $150,000
Oh, yeah.
disappears like that in Manhattan. Gone. So he comes to me, he says, Nicky, you got to help me. I want to make $1 million a year. I go, okay, show me your business. Because that's what I am. I look at people's businesses. I see what they're doing right. I see what they're doing wrong. He did everything right except for one thing. He just did not charge properly. He's charged so little that it was killing him just to make this 150 grand. And I said to him, I said, look, man, you need to charge based on the value of what you deliver. He said, what does that mean? He said, I mean, you don't charge based on your competition. You don't charge based on what you think people want to pay. You charge based on the value of what you deliver. He was an acupuncturist, right? Oh. So help. Very, very good. He worked with high-level business people, high-level like Hollywood actors, like big people. And I said, you got to raise your prices. He goes, okay, 10%. I go, that's a joke, right? He said, 20? I go, that's still a joke? He said, well, what, 30? He was like freaking out. I said, dude, no, man, 20 times your price. What? 20 times? Are you crazy, Nicky? I can't do that, blah, blah, blah. He started to hyperventilate. You know what I mean, hyperventilate? Like this. I'm like, calm down, Chris, calm down. Anyways, it took me a while. He wouldn't do 20 times, but he'd do 7 times. He raised his price 7 times. Harry, in 4 months, he made an extra $1,050,000. In 4 months. 4 months. Not a year. 4 months. And he came to me and he said, I don't know why I fought you so much. I said, because you were scared. That's why you fought me so much. Because you didn't think anybody was going to pay you. He said, that's true. I didn't think anyone was going to pay me. That's the truth. I did not think anyone was going to pay me. I'm like, okay. So step number one, not about you, it's about them. You know what? It's about people. Step number two, get good at business, sales and marketing. Step number three, charge what you're worth. Do not undercharge. It's very, 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 very important. Okay, step number four, for you to really become successful, you need to embrace the four qualities. The four qualities. Now, Harry, you might be thinking to yourself, Nicky, that sounds great. What the heck are these four qualities?
Which one? We're looking forward to hear.
This is a great question, Harry. It's the best question you've ever asked. So, number one, you have to make a decision and be decisive. What does that mean? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make $1 million. Not, it'd be nice. I'd like to. I think I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. I hope so. No. Decide. I will make $1 million. That's it. No retreat, no surrender. You know the ancient story of the Greeks going to Troy. They brought the Trojan horse. They put the Greek soldiers in the horse. They put them in there, and they had all the boats. They burned all the boats. They could not retreat. They either had to conquer Troy or die. That's the level of decision you need to make. There's no retreat. You win or you die, which means you better win. So that's the first step. Secondly, you have to commit. You have to commit. I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn. Do I need to learn how to be a good speaker? I'm a bad speaker now. I'll learn how to be good. Do I need to learn how to sell? I'm a bad at sales. I'm going to be good. And what does that look like? First, you're going to suck. You're going to suck. That's a technical business term. Suck, right? Technical business term. Then you're not going to suck, but you're going to just be bad. And then you're not going to be bad anymore, but you're going to be not so good, but not bad. Then you're going to be average. Then you're going to be okay. Then you're going to be good. Then you're going to be great.
Amazing.
Yeah. You're going to be amazing. Commitment looks like that. Harry, a year and a half ago, I weighed 30 kilos more, 60 pounds more. I was 227 pounds. I got disgusted with myself. I hired a coach. I got myself going. And that's the other thing. You got to hire a coach. That's very important. Don't try to do it alone.
That's number 5.
Third quality. That's the third quality of the 4 qualities. Hire the coach and become coachable. I hired this coach. I listened to him. I dropped 60 pounds. I did a bodybuilding competition at the age of 57. I competed against guys 20 years younger than me, and I came in 3rd place. So how did I do this? It's very good. But listen.
Absolutely. Really powerful.
Powerful. I was coachable, and I hired a coach. Robin Sharma, the great Robin Sharma, the author of the immortal book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, said, you want to double your income this year? Triple your investment in personal and professional development. That means hire a coach, join a mastermind, attend a conference, do a course, buy a book and read it. You have to do all of this. You invested $1,000 last year, $3,000 this year. You invested $3,000 last year, $9,000 this year. You invest $10,000 last year, $30,000 this year. Whatever it is, triple it. And don't be cheap. You need a coach. You will get better when you invest in you. You are the most important asset in your business. If you're not investing in you, shame on you. That means you don't care about your business. You got to do it. It's so important.
100%. So finally, Nick, I have a question.
Finally, the fourth quality, Harry, is resourcefulness. So you need to be resourceful. You need to invest time, energy, money. That means money in coaching for you, money in masterminds for you, money in universities for you, speakers for you, whatever, money. So decisive, committed, coachable, and hire a coach, and resourceful. Get it done. That's step 4. And step 5, Harry, step 5, this is the most important step. You got to do the work. It ain't going to happen if you sit on your butt. You got to do the work. You got to do the work, Harry. That's so important.
Yeah.
Well, these are the 5 steps.
Amazing.
To $1 million.
So I have a question talking about that, and I'm glad that you touched this in your steps. So let's dig a little bit, especially the pricing, right? Because this is what we notice a lot in the entrepreneurs, right? Everybody start a company, and the first thing that they decide is, okay, let me charge cheap price, right? And And let's face it, and this is for the listeners, 80% of the people don't buy on price. They buy for the exactly what Nicky said, for the value that you provide. Otherwise, look, the cars that everybody's driving, the phones that everybody's using, everybody's using iPhone and Samsung. Well, you can cost thousands of dollars. You can buy a phone for $100 that almost do the same thing. Why nobody has it? Because 80% of the population don't buy the cheapest thing. We and the us look the clothes, look what everybody's wearing around you and what everybody's buying around you. So it's an issue. I had it right when the credit crunch. I have my property business. Back then, we managed to sell 5 million, and the credit crunch came, and we're trying to rent the rooms. And I had this brilliant idea that, because it's credit crunch, let me decrease the price of the room. Let me make them cheap. Guess what happened? I lost ton of money, yeah, and the rooms still were empty because the problem, it was not the price, it was the lack of ability to marketing, lack of ability to attract clients. So the price is not gonna fix it for you. It doesn't matter if you put it. People think that that the lack of capacity to attract clients, if you put the price cheap, that's gonna fix it. It doesn't fix it. You have to, like Nicky said, be very good at marketing and sales and develop the ability to attract clients. So Nick, why do you think that the entrepreneurs out there, every time that and something could be something also with the limiting belief, but I think it's a misconception that the entrepreneurs, once they decide at the beginning to start in business, the first thing that they do, they look at the competition and they position themselves the cheapest in the competition. Why do you think that entrepreneurs are doing this?
Fear, and they don't believe in themselves. Listen, I have pens on my desk. This pen, I got it for free, but it's like a 50-cent pen. I never use it. It's on my desk, but I never use it. Unless I run out of ink for the pen I actually use every day. This is a Mont Blanc Meisterstück, right? This is a pen. And I have another Mont Blanc, the JFK ballpoint, which is an even more expensive pen than this. This is the type of workbook I write in. It's a Mont Blanc notebook. It's 190 pages. It's $100. I have other notebooks I bought here. Someone gave them to me that are $2. I never write in them, bro. I'm an abundant man. I like writing with nice pens in nice workbooks. When I do a business deal for someone for $50, $100,000, $1 million, I sign the deal with my Mont Blanc pen. I come and I wear a custom-made suit when I go and I do that. The shirt that I wear is $500. The whole suit that I wear is $3,000, $4,000. The shoes I wear are bespoke shoes. They're $3,000. You know what I mean? Why? Because I want to look and convey a certain image. And the image I convey is this guy's successful.
You definitely cannot look cheap. You definitely need to look like a Rolls Royce. If you want to do Rolls Royce deals and you want to do Rolls Royce, and you have to, because everybody wants to have, if you want to have Rolls Royce clients and close Rolls Royce deals, you need to look like a Rolls Royce. And also, Nick, what you touch base also, like you said, you have to do the work and you have to learn. We always say that entrepreneurship is a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. It's like driving a car or like swimming. And that's why you said at the beginning, you're going to suck. Then you're going to get a little bit better. Then you're going to be kind of okay. And eventually you're going to be awesome. When I do these conferences in front of thousands of people, a lot of people come, "Oh, Harry, this speech was amazing. I love it. You're the best." And I'm telling them, man, what you don't know, I've done that these thousands of times. That's what I'm good. I'm not good because it came out of the sky. I've done it so many times. So it's at the end of the day, the entrepreneurial journey is a skill based. The more you practice, the better you become. And people out there, they forget that. They want to have shortcuts. They want to they trying to find the shortest path for the bigger cash. And when you're in business, unfortunately, until you develop the skill, it's not gonna happen for you, my friend. So, Nick, tell me a little bit more, about why you decided to become an entrepreneur. You told me a little bit about your dad, but I want to know what was that moment. Maybe when you were a kid, you saw your dad doing things and you wanted to be like him. But what was the day that you say, okay, this is it. Today I'm starting my own company. What happened that day?
I always wanted to start my own company because of my father, and I always wanted to be a man like my father. Like, Harry, you met my father. I'm telling you, you would really say, I want to be a better man, just because you would think to yourself, men like this exist. I want to be a better man. I want to be more like this man. And to me, I know the world goes, oh my God, business people, they're so terrible. They're so awful. They're like, steal money from everybody. They take money. No. The best people are the business people. The best, with the biggest hearts, with the biggest desire to be of service. Everything. The best people are entrepreneurs. And my father was the best of the best of the best. Like he made good money, was successful. But I mean, as a man, you would want to just sit next to him just because he would make you feel better about being a human being. That was the kind of man that he was.
Wow. That's why he was wealthy. Yeah. What was his business?
He was in import and export, and primarily in Iran. He did medical. He would equip hospitals. He would equip laboratories, universities, and he also did real estate. So that was his thing. But he had a company there. It was called Medilab, and then Tarateb. Those were his companies.
Where, in U.S. or in Iran?
In Iran.
Oh, that's my God! Iran is a huge country.
Yeah, and then when he came to Canada for a while, he did some real estate, but he went back to Iran. Like, we stayed in Canada, but he went back after 10 years and continued to do business there. He was an Iranian. Like, he came here, it was nice for him and whatnot, but there was a way that Iranians live, and he wanted to live his life in that world. So that was what it was like for my father. So for me, there was a time I was working, and I'm like, it's time to start a business. I knew I was going to start a business someday.
But what happened? What happened? What you would say it's time, but sometimes you need this big push.
I had a push. The last job I worked for, the company went bankrupt. It was back in 2001.
And you said, that's it.
The dot-com crash. And I'm like, okay, this is a sign from God. This is the sign from God. Let's go.
He's telling me this is it. Yeah. I only can have my own future if I do it myself. Very good. Yeah. Number one, I want to send a lot of love and blessing for your dad. I think that sometimes people don't think that these people exist, but let me tell you something. Yeah. Exactly what you shared today. Money won't make you happy. Fulfillment is going to make you happy. Change people's life is going to make you happy. And you know what? Every time that you help someone, and sometimes maybe you give them a little bit of money either to start the business or to start the business or to do something, it comes 10 times more to you, and even coming in different currency, better than money. It comes with love, it comes with gratitude, it comes with positive energy. I know people like this that they don't get sick. I'm like, man, when you don't get sick. Well, he's so good with people. He helps so many people. He gives them money, this and that, exactly like you share. So he receives so much love, so much positive energy. The guy doesn't get sick. You know what I mean? So in the end of the day, is that energy that you create, and that's why your dad was wealthy. I think the wealth was already in his mind, right? And this is and I'm happy that you're following this role model, because sometimes at the beginning we start a business and we are entrepreneurs, but halfway down the road you start to realize, what I actually am doing this. Do I need so much money? How much money do you really need? What can I do, right? And I think that when the moment that you start to transform people's life, to make an impact in people's life, to change their life, this is the moment that people were gonna have true happiness. So, Nicky, tell us what was your first business, and what made you think that this business is gonna give you money?
Well, I got into the business of being a fitness coach, and I had a company with some partners. A couple of them were Olympic gold medalists, and we were bringing the methods of Olympic gold medalists to the regular people for health and fitness. And we had a lot of excitement around it. Unfortunately, I was young, and I didn't understand how to deal with people as well as I do now. And there was some
skill. This is what we're covering. It's a skill that we all have to learn.
And it was important to learn that. I learned it the hard way. So the partnership broke up. But then I started to work on my own in the health and fitness coaching field, and I was very successful. I had a brand called the CEO Health Coach, and I worked with billionaires. I worked with multi-millionaire entrepreneurs. I worked with some of the most famous people in Canada and even the world. I was their coach, and I got them healthy and fit. But after doing that for about 10, 12 years, I went through a life change. I had a divorce, and I wanted a change in my work life. So I got into the world of mindset and success coaching for business owners. It was very good for me for a long time, and I've made a lot of money. I'm in that space right now. I work with a lot of clients to help them succeed, to get their sales skills up, to get their marketing skills up, to become seen as a thought leader in the space. I've helped lots of people. I tell you a story, Harry. There was a man who came to me. He was a successful businessman. He was an executive vice president in a big manufacturing company.
Wow.
But he was burned out. He was 57, which is the same age I am now. That blows me away, because I like when he was 57, he looked 57. And but I mean, I don't think I look or feel 57.
Of course, no. Yeah, you have a lot of energy.
Yeah. So he came to me and he said, I'm not a vice president anymore. I'm a business coach, but I'm not making anywhere near the same money I made then. He was making $350,000 a year then. And he was only making $70,000 a year as a business coach. He said, man, I need to make the same money at least. This is crazy. So he left being in the corporate world because it was too much. Like, he was burnt out. So anyways, when he came to me, he said, can you help me? I said, yes, I can help you. And I said, tell me about the type of coaching you do or you want to do. He said, well, I can really solve any business problem. And I said, that's your first mistake. You cannot tell your clients that ever. Nobody is going to trust you, really. You need to say, I solve this problem in this way. And he said, okay. So we spent some time helping him figure that out. And there's some exercises I take my clients through to understand this. And he discovered that he loves helping businesses scale and grow. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then he said, well, who should I do it for? I said, well, who do you want to do it for? And then we took a look at some of his clients that he'd worked with. So Harry, I like models and diagrams. Okay, you probably can. I like models and diagrams. So we created a Venn diagram in our business for identifying your avatar client. And the first one is, who do you enjoy working with? The second one is, who do you get really good results for? And the third one is, who is easy to do business with? They pay in full, on time, send you referrals. So we looked at who was in all three of those circles. And for him, it was lawyers with no partners. So single solopreneur lawyers with maybe like an assistant. And what he found out is all these guys wanted to make more money. They were not happy with their money. So maybe they made $500,000, $1 million a year. They wanted to do 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. So he knew how to help them, and he started to do that. And he also undercharged. So, right. And so I helped him design a coaching program, and he went from charging like $1,000 a month to $25,000 a year.
Wow.
And remember, he's making $6,000 a month, $70,000 a year, right? Within 6 months, we got him to $40,000 a month, and then $50,000 a month. A month. So Harry, he thought, okay, maybe I can do $100,000 a month, and he did that for 2 months, and he said it's too much work. Drop it down to $50,000. $50,000 a month is $600,000 a year. For a one-man band, a coach, that's a wonderful amount of money.
Absolutely.
And it's a wonderful amount of money. And you know, he passed away from cancer.
Wow.
This man, dear friend. But I have a video testimonial that he did for me, and I still watch it from time to time just to remind myself of him. And sometimes if someone says to me, and they're kind of close to age in me, and they're saying, "So Nicky, tell me, what can you do for me? I'm an old fart, blah 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 blah." And I go, "Can I show you this video?" And they go, "Sure, show me the video." So I show them the video, and it's a 7-minute long video, right? And it's not all business, you know what I mean? So he doesn't just go boom boom boom, but everybody watches it, and I go, "This man passed away from cancer 3 years after he made this video for me."
Wow.
And they all go, "Oh, that's sad." I go, "It is sad, but you have to understand that those years of his life, those last years, he was rich, he had time on his hands, and he was fulfilled."
Yeah.
Do you think that it's better to die wishing that you did all the things that would make you fulfilled? Or do you think it's better to die having done those things that fulfill you?
Yeah.
And all those guys said to me,
Let's go even deeper in this,
that I got to do this with this man.
because and sometimes, you know, the guy, as you shared, they say that he was in a previous corporate job, and he was burned out, and he decided he wanted to become a coach. Yeah. So here's the thing: the dream of the corporate world, right? They pay you a lot of money, and they want you to be comfortable, but at the end of the day, you are trapped in a golden jail. And if there is a stress, and you have to meet the deadlines and the numbers and whatever, what happens is that emotional pain that you're accumulating for years and years and years can become physical pain. And that's why people have cancer, people have different illnesses, right? The good thing is that he decided to become a coach, and he shifted the situation, yeah. But maybe some of this emotional pain that he had when he was in corporate, yeah, could be the cause of this physical pain, and he sadly passed away. So what is your message for the people out there that they are suffering, that they know that they can become a good entrepreneur, that they can become a good coach, and they are still trapped in this corporate work, that because of fear, because of they think that they are safe, right? Which is not true, because one day when you don't need anymore, they're gonna tell you that you don't need anymore, and then you only know how to do one specific part of something, which is for entrepreneurship is useless because you need to know a little bit about everything when you're in business, right? So what is the message for people that trap in the life, in this 9 to 5 suffering, and we know that they have the potential to do something amazing with their life, become a great coach, become a great consultant, make even way more money what they're making now, because they do have the knowledge. So what message do you have for these people?
That's a great question, Harry, and it deserves a great answer. I'm going to give you one. So first and foremost, remember at the beginning of this interview, I was saying to you about my father, and he's saying that you need to believe in people. The reason that I need to believe in people is because so many people have stopped believing in themselves. They're afraid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For whatever
absolutely.
reason, life has beaten them down, and the messages from the world are you cannot do it. Stay in your lane, forget about it,
Absolutely.
right? And everyone needs someone to believe in them. When my father died, he passed the torch to me of believing in people. I call it the Billou torch. I believe in people. Harry, we've only met today for half an hour, 40 minutes, but I feel I'm getting to know you, and I believe in you. You're a man with passion, energy. You're a man with the desire to be better, to do better, to help people. It's obvious. It's obvious to me. And I believe in this man.
Thank you.
I believe in this man. I believe
Like
that
you
this
too, you have
man,
amazing energy.
thank you. I believe in this man. I believe he has the ability to help a lot of people. And I want to pour my belief into him so that he believes in himself even more. And that whatever he thought was the outer limit of what he can do, it grows. Whatever you think is the outer limit of what you can do, it's there and it needs to grow. So these people, they're outer very, very low, so they don't really believe in themselves. And me, who tell you, you can do it. I believe in you. God has given you everything you need to do what you want to do. One of the books I wrote, not my latest book, but one of my books, Harry, it's called The Thought Leader's Journey. I wrote this in 2019. It is told in the form of a fable, right? Kind of like Robin Sharma and Og Mandino, right?
Yeah.
And it's the story of a guy who works in corporate and is too afraid to take a step. It's the whole story. And in it, he finds the courage with the help of some people who believe in him. And Harry, I say this to you people. Yes, it's 5 years old, this book, but the best books are older books anyways, and 5 years is not that old. And you want to read
The
this
message.
book.
It's not about the book, it's about what the message that the book contains.
Yeah, and this message
people are suffering, people are trapped because of this, because of fear. And they're wasting their life, you know. There is only one life, and the entrepreneur decide to live the best life. But you know, everybody have this leadership within themselves, and I strongly advise you to read that book if you're in corporate, you know. And something that you said, Nicky, very good. Later is like you said in one of your steps: find a coach, find a mentor. You say, I want to drop 60 pounds, and I hire a coach. And then I achieve my goal. And this is interesting because I wish that we have more time to cover more about that. This is interesting because the other day I interviewed a multi-millionaire as well. The guy had 40 exits, yeah? And he told me, Harry, you know what? I am living in Colorado and I'm going to do real estate. And I said, okay, so, and he said, after 2 years, I have a multi-million pound portfolio in real estate. I said, man, how you did it? He said, easy. I hired a coach, the property. I pay a lot of money. He told me about everything. And now I'm a multi-millionaire in property also. And so, Nicky, what is your view? Like, because every successful entrepreneur, including you that I interview, when you talk to them, they say, look, I want to achieve this goal. First thing that I do, I hire a coach. I pay the money. He guide me and I achieve the goal.
That's it.
All successful people say this, yeah? But then you have the rest of the entrepreneurs out there that they want to do everything by themselves, and they're working Monday to Sunday, 14, 16 hours a day, you know, in the restaurant, in the whatever, and they don't ask for help. They want to solve the whole thing by themselves, and they can
Great
be
question.
10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it will never happen to them. And again, these people are suffering because they don't have time to spend with the family, with the children, with the people that they love. They're trapped in their own, what they call a business, which is worse than a job. And they don't let go that thing that, you know, I need help. Let me find someone. And successful people, they all have a coach. And they all have a mentor.
For 12 years, when I left the fitness field, I told myself every year, I know what to do. I don't need a coach. And every year I got fatter. Every year I got fatter. Every year I got fatter. Every year. until one day I was 227 pounds.
Wow,
And I'm like,
that's a lot.
what the fuck? How did this happen? I know how it happened. I got lazy, bad habits, and I didn't have someone teaching me the right thing to do anymore. And I stopped believing in my and that belief, that little spark. And when I started to believe in myself, Harry, that's when the results came. It took 6 months. The first 2, 3, 4 months, the results were very slow. The results really came in the last 2 months when I did all the work to get myself there. The first 4 months, I lost maybe 15, 17 pounds.
That's a lot. This is a lot for a month. A lot.
No, 4 months. 4 months. 4 months, 17 pounds. So not much weight.
Okay.
The last 2 months, I lost more than 40 pounds.
Wow.
More than 40 pounds. Why? Because I started to believe in myself and I started to figure out how to do it. And I kept working with this guy and I got into the shape that I'm in now, right? Like I'm like, I'm ripped, I'm shredded. I've got like abs, like I have the energy of a man
You have
20 years younger than me.
You have an amazing energy. It's only if you're healthy, the only way that you can have this energy if you're healthy, if you detox. I think that your body went for a process that you actually detox everything, all the toxins, everything went out of your body, and that's why now you're like brand new again, like 20 years.
So like you look at this for business. So I'll tell you a final story. So about 14, 15 years ago, I was married and my wife decided she wanted a divorce. And I didn't see it coming. So I blindsided and I spiraled. She kicked me out of the house. I was sleeping on my mother's couch. It was embarrassing. And then a friend of mine took pity on me. He bought me a ticket to a business conference. I went. I put on a suit. I went. A man was delivering a talk on stage. It spoke to my soul. When he was done, I walked over and I said, my name's Nicky. Here's my story. And then I said to him, I think I should hire you to coach me. He looked at me and he said, okay, but it's a minimum $5,000 for 5 hours of coaching with me. I said, oh, wow, I don't have that money. And he said, okay, I'll give you some free coaching. I said, oh, okay, that's great. Thank you. He said to me, it doesn't matter how much money you have. I need your business. You need, and then he said, it doesn't matter how much money you have. What matters is how bad do you want change? I said, come again? He said, well, you just told me your wife is divorcing you. She kicked you out of the house. You can't see your children. You're sleeping on your mother's couch. You haven't made money for a year. How bad do you want change? How much longer do you want to be that guy? A day, a week, a month, a year, a lifetime. Wow. When he said that last thing, it went right in. And I'm like, give me a couple days. I was motivated. So I called some people that I'd been talking to who had not said yes or no to doing business with me. This was when I was a fitness coach. And I called them and I said, I need to see my kids. I said, okay, so what are you saying? I said, I'm going to give you the deal of a lifetime, half price of what I quoted you before. But here's the deal. You say yes now, you pay me now, or the deal's gone forever. 2 guys said yes, and they gave me $1,000 each. That was the first money I'd made in a year. Wow. So I was so excited. I went to see this guy, and I gave him the money. And he said, that's nice, but I said 5, not 2. I'm like, oh my God. I said to him, Bill, his name was Bill. I said, Bill, how many people have you shared this story with that you told me? He said, 30 or 40 over the years. I go, that's a lot.
Like the same pattern, right? It's like the same story and same pattern all the time, right?
So I said to him, yeah. So I said, take my money. I'll pay you the rest in 30 or 60 days, whatever the case may be. I'll sign a contract. He said, okay. And the rest is history. I made 6 figures in less than 6 months, and I paid him back early. And the question I have for your listener, it's my final question for them. How bad do you want change?
Absolutely.
How much longer do you want to stay in your current situation? A day, a week, a month, a year, a lifetime? Or are you ready for change? If you're ready for change, act to
Absolutely. Act today. Yeah. So, Nicky, can last question. Tell us about your latest book, about the podcast book.
Oh man. So this book is called Get Booked and Get Paid: How to Generate 6 Figures Plus a Year Through Podcast Guesting.
Wow.
Over the last 2 years, I have been on over 630 shows.
Wow.
And I've generated part-time, less than 5 hours a week, $410,000 in sales. And I decided to put this in the form of a book. I also have a workshop teaching you how to do it. All my methods, because most people go on shows just because they want to have a conversation. I go on shows to generate, leads, sales, and clients. This book will show you exactly how to do that. It's available on Amazon, Kindle. It's a paperback and a hardcover. So pick up a copy for yourself.
Thank you so much, Nicky. And with that note, thank you so much. I think that you have been amazing. A lot of valuable knowledge for our audience, and to all of you following this podcast. See you follow us in Spotify or Apple on our social media. See you our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneur like Nicky break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.